Hi, it's me, your boyfriend slash girlfriend slash day friend's favorite content creator, and he is tired. He being I is tired because I keep seeing the same conversation happen over and over. And yes, it's going to involve everyone's favorite acronyms, SBI, DEI, and ESG, because that's what it always is now. Anytime something wrong in gaming, it's DEI, SBI, ESG. That's it. That's always the problem. And now it's reared its ugly head again because, women are not attractive anymore. At least in video games, according to those guys. So recently, there was a trailer for the new Star Wars game coming out by Ubisoft, Star Wars Outlaw. Now, I'm not like super jazzed about this. Not because I don't like Star Wars. I think Star Wars is fine. But because it's an Ubisoft game, which means there's going to be Ubisoftness in this game, which inevitably means there's going to be some weird pricing in terms of like trying to get a copy of this game. But all that aside, these guys are mad that the main character is ugly. That's it. They just think she's ugly. And this does kind of tie into my video I talked about diversity in general. I lightly touched on this, but I talked about mostly how we should have more diversity because diversity is good. If we're going to focus on women's bodies, which we seem as a society and right now like to do, what are you talking about? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we talking about? What do you mean she's ugly? What are you talking about? You see, there's this trend online, and I have to get a little real worldy. I know you guys hate that, but there's a trend online of a subgroup of men who, let's just say, rhymes with they're incels. It's incels. They like to break women down to phrenology. They want to look at their bone structure and look at their jaw lines and say, oh man, that's a man because of masculine jawline. Robin to all these women with the feminine jaw lines. And they basically self-report that they've never, ever in real life interacted with a woman. Their perception of women is, I'm be completely real, it's either porn, anime, or some combination of the two. Maybe it's an art form. Who knows what it's called? Definitely not me. Don't look at my search history. But that is where they're coming from because they think every woman needs to have a thin waist, big boobs, wide hips. And that has to be every woman, or all women are being ugly. Their face has to look exactly one way and only one way, or they're ugly. There are people trying to say that the Wonder Woman model from the Suicide Squad game was ugly. There were people trying to say that Aloy is ugly, that Abby from The Last of Us is ugly because they don't like their body type. And again, like I said in my last video, which you guys should watch, but if you're not going to watch it, can't force you. Your preferences are not everyone's preference. It is so annoying to see people just go like, oh, they made them so ugly. Look at her Adam's apple. And it's like a non-existent Adam's apple. And they're saying, well, the actress looks really good, but in the game, not so much. It's like, hey, buddy, couple of things. First and foremost, though there are people who will scan their faces in there, to build a base of a character model, that doesn't mean they're going to 100% transfer that over. They may just use that as a template, as a basis, because they might not fit this certain aesthetic they're going for. That's how it works. But there is people online trying to say that like, oh, Western games never do women properly when they do face scans or whatever, and Eastern games always do it properly. And I'm like, so we're just gonna forget like the Mass Effect series? We're gonna forget like any game that's come out in the Western, like we're just gonna forget. We're just gonna ignore those because you want to cherry pick female characters you personally don't like and saying this is what it is across the board. Why isn't this the same issue for men? Why is no one saying like, John Marston, that motherfucker was ugly, they should have beautied him up? Why don't we have Timothée Chalamet be John Marston? And you know what? Let him also be Marcus Phoenix. Let him also be Solid Snake. Why are we not doing this? Why is it just the women characters? They're talking about Eastern games or whatever. Yakuza, the most recent Yakuza game, Kiryu, a babe always, but the other guy, why does she not look like Kiryu? Why are they not all the same face? Like, this is what I was talking about before. They have this insane demand that could never be reached because they want these characters to all look one way, but like I said before, the way they want them to look isn't the way that everyone wants. You're not going to always get what you want, but it's crazy to be like, oh, these women are all becoming ugly, especially when a lot of y'all should not be talking to people's looks. A lot of you people should not be going for people's looks. I'm so sorry, but I like to keep it 100. A lot of y'all look like y'all snuck on Earth on God's day off, and you have the audacity to come and talk about how other people are unattractive because you don't like their jawline, you don't like the way that their shoulders look, you don't like their eyebrows, you don't like the way their cheeks are puffy or whatever. Like, and also, do you only play video games when you're attracted to the main character? Like, is that the only way you can function? Is that the only way you can play a game? That's the only way you can stomach it. There are people who are preying on this game's downfall, the Star Wars game. They're preying on its downfall because they do not find the main character hot. That's insane to me. That is insane. What happened to the whole, oh, hey gamers, as long as the game is good, we'll play it. What, is that just bullshit? Because we don't know how the game's gonna turn out. But to already be like this game's gonna fail because I can't jerk off to the main character is crazy. And I am not gonna be nice to these people. It is insane that you guys have this stance and you're so vocal about it. You're just telling people that you've never known the touch of a woman. Because this isn't being like, oh, well, you're just a prude because you don't like hot women. I love hot women and they love me. The issue here is you guys think only one type is allowed. Only one type. Like, by now I've shown you guys dozens of examples of women who they have fixed, right, to make look better. I'm like, it's all just one singularity. That's it. That's the only thing they allow. And if it's not exactly that, they will complain. They will always complain. Like, it's to the point where I don't even think these guys are even like gamers. I just think these guys are weirdos who are online who found a way to snake themselves into certain groups and then just started complaining about shit. Because what are you talking about? There is a bevy of women on the goddamn digital front that are your level of attractiveness or whatever. Go play those games. Stop complaining that everything's not catered to you. Are you not the same people so mad about DEI, yet you want everything to be catered to you? You want your concerns, you want your wants to be everyone else's wants and concerns? You get mad when you see a black person or a gay person working within the industry making the games you want because they didn't earn it. They are just plants, they're whatever, we shouldn't focus on them. But because you didn't get it your way, now it's, oh, the whole game industry is against me. They have an agenda against hot women because sex never sells. We all want ugly, disgusting people in front. And you know, honestly, if that was the case, who gives a shit? As long as the game's good. Like, I don't play games to jerk off. I don't know about you guys. I don't play games to jerk off. I play games because they're fun. I play games for new stories. I play games for interesting plots. I don't play games because I want to bone the digital character. That's not to say there's not some, attractive game characters, but I don't play games with that specific intent. Unless it's Baldur's Gate 3, then yeah, we have a couple playthroughs where when we try to do polyamory, it's weird in Baldur's Gate, they don't just let you do polyamory with like everyone. I feel like the world's going to shit. Does it really matter to have a girlfriend and a boyfriend and a husband? Like, does it really matter? Like, why is that a big deal? Patch that. Larian, who's obviously watching this video, go patch that. And the rest of you guys who are so mad about the women characters aren't being hot, go touch grass. What the fuck?